part of the problem is trying to ascertain Israel's long-term strategic objectives. Is it the overthrow of the regime in Iran? Is it the complete destruction of Iran's nuclear capacity, peaceful or otherwise? Or is it something else? Uh, it has to be something else because I believe that both of the other objectives are simply unattainable. The Israelis could probably, given enough time and enough good intelligence, decapitate the Iranian government. Uh, this would in turn probably lead to a takeover by the IGRC, a new supreme leader, probably Mujtaba Khamenei, selected by the IGRC via its ability to intimidate senior clerics, or and then I see no particular change in a few months' time. In a few years' time, Iran will be back where it is today. Is it possible to destroy Iran's nuclear capacity? Uh, Unassisted by the United States, the answer, I think, is a categoric no. The Israelis simply lack both the intelligence and the weapons and weapons delivery systems that only the United States possesses, and which I frankly doubt will the United States will be giving them to the Israelis. Nor would the United States participate using its own airmen in such an adventure. President Trump has laid down the law insofar as he is concerned. The United States is quit of forever wars. The United States has no intention of ever getting caught up in a war that isn't over with in a day or two. We saw this with the Houthis in Yemen. A month or two of military exchanges, of bombardment. We didn't get anywhere with the Houthis. The Houthis cut a deal with us that said they won't attack American ships, but there are very, very few American ships out there. So, in essence, it was a good way for President Trump to get out of the war with the Houthis relatively unscathed and having accomplished practically nothing. But I don't think he much cares, and perhaps he's right about not much caring there. So we are left with trying to define Israeli strategic objectives. A very large part of the punditry in this city, myself included, believe that Israel's strategic objective is actually Netanyahu's strategic objective, which is to stay in power for as long as possible so as to avoid the collapse of his government and probable trial, conviction, and possible jail time. The To do this, he just has to keep the war going, expanding it from time to time, uh, achieving short-term objectives that make him look good, and providing cover for the likes of his settler allies, or actually settler masters today, to continue the war going while they try to change facts on the ground in the West Bank and continue the war in Gaza. In that case, constant short-term objectives are good enough. He doesn't need a long-term objective to keep that one going. Uh, did Israel intend as we said at the beginning, Israel is simply incapable of destroying Iran's nuclear arsenal or nuclear facilities, its ability to get to anything. And nor do we believe, actually, the American side, and most of the world does not believe that Iran has, in fact, a nuclear weapon program, which leads us to the possibility that Israel is in some way hoping for a regime change that will bring a more benign or friendly government to power. Uh, I don't believe a regime change is possible. If it occurred, it would probably, as I said, be a mirror of the present regime. And the Israelis will just have kept this going, at one time running out of President Trump's patience. Uh, there is a new theory making the rounds, and one which I think we should take seriously, is that Prime Minister Netanyahu and President Trump choreographed uh, the start of hostilities as a way of pressuring and persuading the Iranians to sign up to the new substitute for the JCPOA that President Trump has put on the table in negotiations. Uh, the key part of that uh, proposed peace agreement is that in return for Iran giving up all parts of its nuclear program, including peaceful nuclear use, uh, the United States will lift sanctions and provide Iran with economic opportunities. I believe that given the personality of the supreme leader, uh, that is an impossible ask. He has been in power for a long time, and he has certain fixed ideas. He has issued a fatwa saying that there will never be nuclear weapons. An opinion, excuse me, not fatwa, and the learned opinion that Iran should not ever have nuclear weapons, that they're evil. And I don't believe that a man of his personality and his age in particular will ever accept that, terms that would imply that Iran was indeed seeking a nuclear weapon.